Rise and shine.
Bat an eyelash.
Good morning.
There are no hands on the clock.
Why?
Because they're not needed.
What time is it?
I don't remember that part. All right, let's just not nitpick over the past. I need to find my daughter.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
Hello out there, great lands and lands. Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a newer film that came out a couple weeks ago, and is the newest film from Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video or any other video I put up. As always, folks, if you enjoy my content, check out my other social media platforms, such as X, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, every other thing you can think of social media, I'm pretty much on, so definitely check those out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I said before, we're doing a movie review of a newer film that came out a couple weeks ago, and is a newest film from the great Leonardo DiCaprio called One Battle After Another. Yeah, one battle after another. Yeah. So this newest film, which is the newest from Leonardo DiCaprio and several other great cast members and great director, is definitely a political slash thriller slash dark comedy film that is one of those films that you're like, going into it, you're not 100% sure. You think it's going to be more drama than what it really was. And I actually came out of it going, what the hell did I just watch? So for the fact that this film was like totally not what I expected from what I saw in the trailer, and completely out left field after seeing it. I mean, it had a lot of great moments. It had some interesting portions of the film, but the majority of the film was kind of long and boring, which was too bad because I really enjoy the director of this film because he's made a lot of great other films, and I was really surprised that he took it to the lengths that he did and made it as long as he did, and it like had some really bad dead air sections. And I was just like really surprised by that because I feel even in his longer films, I still feel there was still a lot more potential that could have been put into this film. It just feels like this film was really centered on one particular topic, which I really thought was hilarious and cracked me up. Because if you didn't notice that that's what it was centered on, I mean, I don't know if you need to go and get a hearing test, an eye test, or what, but it definitely was what it was. And I think it's funny that a lot of people I've seen in comments and I've seen in other reviews of this film just saying, oh, no, it's not that. It's not that. And I'm just kind of cracking up going, yes, it is. It's a completely, it is definitely centered on modern things going on in modern times. And if you didn't get that, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. There really is that. And like I said, maybe you need to do some research or thinking and see what you might come of it. But still, this film had a lot of great potential, had a great cast, and I just was really disappointed that it could have been so much better. But I did enjoy several parts in this film that were super hilarious and super fun, and I think were the best parts of this movie. Now, of course, this is none other directed by the great Mr. Paul Thomas Anderson! Oh yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson! Woo! Paul Thomas Anderson! Yeah! Paul Thomas Anderson is an amazing director. He's made so many great films over the years. I mean, he's done Licorice Pizza. He's done, Hard Eight, which was his directorial debut. He did Magnolia. I mean, he's done a whole bunch of different films over the years, and all of them always have some really great, interesting things that happen in them. And, of course, there's some of them that I'm like, I could do without them. But overall, I think Paul Thomas Anderson has a great eye for directing and is really amazing as a director. And I think that he missed the mark on this film. I really was expecting a lot more from him in this film, and it just felt like he really was pushing it towards a certain topic. And I was really surprised at that because I feel any of his other movies, I don't feel they're very centered on certain things. They're very scrambled. They're very, pushing forward and, really about evolution throughout the film. And this one just really was pinpointed on certain things that I feel really glorified these things, which I thought was kind of dumb, because you don't want to glorify things to make people, think, oh, it's okay to do that, and when it's really not. And that's how I felt that he went about this film, and I was really shocked by that. But overall, I think he had some, like I said, there's a couple sections of the film he directed the crap out of that were perfect. Exactly what I remember from Paul Thomas Anderson film. And I was really loved those scenes, and I thought were absolutely fantastic. I mean, he got a great cast together that was phenomenal, and I think all of them just worked really well and were just so much fun. And these sequences were just so on point and made the film enjoyable and entertaining. But other than that, the rest of the film was just kind of like, And I was really saddened by that, because I thought this could have had so much more potential with Paul Thomas Anderson's directing. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Paul Thomas Anderson has directed, definitely a great film to check out. It is that I think is his all-time best, and I think is exactly what I expected from this film, but didn't get. And that, of course, is a great film that came out in the late 90s called Boogie Nights. Yeah! Boogie Nights. Yeah! Boogie Nights is such a great Paul Thomas Anderson film. It's exactly what you're looking for. Even though it's a longer film, it's still entertaining from beginning to end. The whole premise, the concept is amazing. Great cast. I mean, William H. Macy, Mark Wahlberg, the gorgeous Heather Graham, and a slew of other people that were in it that were just so freaking awesome. Even Burt Reynolds popping up in it was amazing too. And Paul just did a great job of extracting that era of that type of the adult film industry. It was just so freaking awesome, and it really shined the light on what that industry was like. And that, to me, is really how exactly to do a film if you're going to do it about such a specific thing. And he just really brought the great dark elements and the dark comedy to it that really shined, which there's definitely parts in One Battle After Another that has those great dark elements, comedy and stuff like that work really well, and that's what parts I really enjoyed, which made me think of Boogie Nights, which I think is his best film. And he just really delivered with Boogie Nights and gave us a really solid film. If you have not seen Boogie Nights, highly recommend check it out. Worth a watch, one of Paul Thomas Anderson's best films. But overall, with One Battle After Another, like I said, there were some good parts, but the majority of the film was just really lackluster, and it was too bad, because it could have been such a great film that could have been a completely different film where it had different aspects of this whole political culture that we're going through. And I think it just could have done so much better with that. I like Paul Thomas Anderson. I think he's a fantastic director, but I just think he missed the mark on this film. If you haven't seen anything Paul Thomas Anderson has directed, definitely go check out One Battle After Another. See for yourself. What do you think? Did he do a good job? So this movie has a really great cast. I mean, lots of great people that were just super awesome, really fun in the film, and just all played really great characters that really developed their characters and gave us these great out-of-the-crazy-ass characters that you just were like, what the hell was that type of deal? And of course, we have a lot of people in it that had smaller roles, and there was other bigger roles, and all of them worked out very well and were very, did a good job for their role in the film. Now, to start us off is none other than the main character himself, Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. Woo, Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah! So Leonardo DiCaprio is a fantastic actor. Ever since I saw him in Quick and the Dead, he was absolutely fantastic in that. Of course, his role in Titanic was decent. The Beach he was amazing in. What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and etc. He's just always been a really fantastic actor. And I've always enjoyed him, and I love watching him grow throughout his career and just watch him kind of blossom into the great actor he became. And he's made so many great films that are just so awesome and great performances. And I have to give it to him. He was absolutely fantastic in this film. I absolutely loved him. I think he was one of the best parts about this film, and he cracked me the hell up. And his sequences, when he's trying to figure out how to find his daughter, is the best sequence in the damn film. It's absolutely freaking hilarious. When he's trying to tell him, I'm so brain dead from doing drugs, I can't remember these words. and it was absolutely freaking hilarious, and just his whole journey to try to get to his daughter was absolutely hilarious, and the things that happened, and him and Benicio del Toro, and it was just so freaking funny. And the fact that he like keeps going insane trying to figure this stuff out because he's so like drugged out, it's absolutely freaking hilarious and just works out really well. And he is probably one of the best parts about this film. And he just plays the character very well. And I think, just shines the 30 plus years he's had, in the industry. It just really shines in this film and really shows that he is a really great actor that is really fun and entertaining to watch. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Mr. DiCaprio has been in, a great film to check out of his, and one of my favorites of his, is a great film that came out a few years ago that stars Tom Hanks called Catch Me If You Can. Yeah, Catch Me If You Can. Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic as this character, which is based on a true life story. Him and Tom Hanks play two real characters that were in a cat and mouse chase for many years. And he just plays that character to the amazing point. He is so freaking awesome as the Frank character. And Leo just did such a great job of bringing that to life and giving us this really great kind of thought process and kind of the evolution of that real life guy and what he went through, going from writing bad checks to basically creating super fraud, and stealing money for years from the airline and from different places and pretending to be these different people and being in different professions. And Leo did such a great job of bringing that to life and giving us an example of what this guy did throughout the 60s and 70s and kind of giving you that thought process of, this was insane, but at the same time, this is amazing. He got away with it for so damn long. And of course, Tom Hanks' character is the FBI guy that is after him. But Leo was just so amazing in this film. I absolutely loved him. I think he was fantastic, and I think it's a very underrated performance of his that doesn't get enough recognition. If you haven't seen anything Leonardo DiCaprio has been in, definitely check out Catch Me If You Can. He was absolutely phenomenal. But overall, he was phenomenal in one battle after another. He was actually, I think, one of my favorite parts besides Benicio del Toro. And he just was absolutely epic in this and so much fun. And he made the film very entertaining and enjoyable. If you haven't seen Leonardo DiCaprio anything recently, go check him out in one battle after another. See what you think. He did a great job. So that brings me to the next person I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than one of Leonardo DiCaprio's wonderful allies in the film, Miss Regina Hall. Oh yeah, Regina Hall. Woo, Regina Hall, yeah. So Regina Hall you might recognize, of course, from the Scary movies, at least the first three. You might recognize her from a few other things over the years. And is just a really fun actress who I really enjoy and always find really fun to see in different things. And this was actually kind of interesting to see her in a more like non-comedic role, because usually she plays more comedic roles and stuff like that where she tries to play like the serious person in the comedy, but she really is kind of comedic at the same time. And this was more of a dramatic role for her, and I really enjoyed seeing her in that type of different performance. And it was really nice to see her character in this, and she played such a great character that, had to deal with these certain things, and she had this big burden on her and stuff like that, and I think she did such a great job of playing that character. Even though the film itself wasn't that great, she still did a really fantastic job and brought some real fun to her character and made her character enjoyable, and her scenes were very fun to watch. Now, if you haven't seen Regina Hall in anything, definitely check her out in a great film that came out a few years ago called Think Like a Man. Yeah, Think Like a Man. Yeah. So this is a comedy film based on Steve Harvey's book of the same name, and Regina Hall plays such a great character in this film. I absolutely love her. She plays one of the main characters, along with the huge ensemble cast that's in it, from Wendy McLovin to Kevin Hart, Romany Falco, and so forth, and so like that. And Regina Hall is so awesome in this film. I really enjoy her. I love her character. I love what she brings to the role. She plays such a great, like, kind of motherly character. Same time, she's very sexy, very awesome, and is just really enjoyable in the film. And I think she works well with all the different actors and actresses that are in the film. And I really enjoyed just kind of what she brings to the role. She plays that very motherly character, but at the same time, she's very fierce and very, interesting, and very, has some great one-liners and stuff like that throughout the film, and very, you feel for her. She does a really good job of presenting her feelings in the film, and I think that really plays out well in her great acting ability. If you haven't seen Regina Hall in anything, definitely check her out in Think Like a Man. She was absolutely fantastic. But overall, I thought she was fantastic in One Battle After Another. I enjoyed her. I thought she did a great job in her small parts in the film. And overall, I think that she was another great adding value to this film. If you haven't seen Regina Hall recently, go check her out in One Battle After Another. She did a decent job. So that brings me to the final actor I want to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than the kind of main bad guy in the film, Mr. Sean Penn! Oh yeah, Sean Penn! Woo! Sean Penn! Yeah! So Sean Penn, you might recognize, of course, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You might recognize him from the film The Game. You might recognize him from a few other things over the years. And he is just one of those actors that he kind of has aged gracefully, in his acting ability. He really wasn't anything that great in his youth, but over the years he's become a decent actor. He's done a really good job of playing really good bad guys. And I really enjoy him as bad guys because I feel that kind of plays with his real-life persona very well. And he just plays those characters really good and just really, plays them, basically pretty much like himself. But at the same time, it's kind of like, like how much of this is really you and really not you, Sean? But at the same time, he just plays a really great evil villain in this that you're like the whole film, you're like, holy shit, man. Get your shit together type of deal. And at the same time, it's like, this guy I hate. I dislike him. I just don't like him. It's like he's evil. And the shit he's doing is just insane. And you're just kind of like, whoa, you're doing too good of a job there, Sean. Too good of a job. But other than that, he was a really good villain that you just really hated and didn't like. And I think he did a really good job of performing that and giving us this really great evil character to add to his, villain roles. And I think that overall, Sean is just one of those actors, too, that he's a little overhyped. And sometimes people are like, oh, he's so great, he's so wonderful. And I'm just kind of like thinking, he's okay. But at the same time, it's like there are certain roles I've seen of his that I think are way more better than some of the ones that he's getting real huge recognition for. And I think that this is one of the ones that hopefully he'll get recognized for because he did do a decent job here playing this evil character that I think really worked really well for the film. Now, if you haven't seen Sean Penn anything, definitely a great film to check him out, and I think is one of his all-time best films. It's a great film that came out at the beginning of the 2000s called Mystic River. Yeah! Mystic River. Yeah! So this great, phenomenal film with Tim Robbins, directed by Clint Eastwood, is an amazing film. Sean does a great job in this film playing the father of the missing girl, and he plays the character to the T and is insane. And I just absolutely love everything he brings to this character and how fun and enjoyable he is. And I just really enjoy that he really takes it to a whole new level and gives us this interesting, freaking phenomenal character that you're like, holy crap, I wouldn't want to mess with this guy. And then at the same time, you're like, he's going a little too far with this because, how do you know he really did it? You don't. And you're taking the law in your hands but doing maybe the wrong thing at the same time. And you're just like, whoa, this is insane. But it was very realistic and very much what it probably would be like in real life. And I think that's fantastically done by Sean in this film. And I think he did a great job at giving us that really phenomenal performance. If you haven't seen Sean Penn anything, definitely check him out in Mystic River. He did a really fantastic, phenomenal job. But overall, he was an amazing villain in One Battle After Another and was enjoyable. And I think that he played a really great villain in this film, and he should get some praise for his performance. If you haven't seen Sean Penn in anything recently, go check him out in One Battle After Another. See for yourself. What do you think of his performance? So what is the premise of One Battle After Another? Basically, it's about Leonardo DiCaprio, who is a part of a far-left militant group that is basically rescuing refugees that are in, camps, detention centers where they're supposed to be pushed back across the border. And they basically create anarchy and stuff like that. And basically the film is about how they do all that stuff and then basically go into hiding after they start getting into trouble and start getting caught. And basically then the rest of the film is about him trying to rescue his daughter from being taken out by Sean Penn's character, who is trying to cover up his mistakes so he can get into basically like a society of people that are against other races, basically. So racist, basically. And it just kind of cracks me up, the whole premise of this film. It's like so insane and just cracks me the hell up because it's like, it's so on the point of what they're trying to say is going on today. And I'm sorry, if you did not see that in this movie, it just seems like either you have blenders on or you're not understanding the film, because that's basically what this film is. And it's just too bad because they could have done so much more with it. Like I said, it could have had so many different elements to it that could have been portions of each thing and really focus on each of those things versus being very one-pointed. And, I think that would have, in the long run, would have made the film a lot more entertaining and just so much more fun. So basically, the premise of the story, it just cracks me up, but at the same time, I think that there's so much more they could have done with it that could have been so much more entertaining. Other than that, I think that the film, just like I said, was lackluster. It had a lot of great action sequences. It had great moments, especially with Leonardo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro. Other than that, I was not really impressed with this film, and it's just too bad because I was really wanting to really like this film, especially because it's a Paul Thomas Anderson film, because I really enjoy him as a director. I give this one 3 out of 10 Golden Movie Boxes up, simply for the fact that for Leonardo DiCaprio's performance and for Benicio del Toro's performance. Other than that, do I recommend it? Not really, but at the same time, don't take my word for it. See for yourself what you think. You might enjoy it. I might have not. And, I might have liked certain things, and you might like certain other things. It's, like I said, it's up to you if you like it or not. I'm just telling you what I think of it and all that kind of good stuff. So, if you get a chance, go check it out in theaters. See for yourself if you enjoy it. Other than that, I think it was an okay film. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check any other new videos you might not see mine yet. And also, huge shout out to my subscribers, new and old. Thank you so much for being on the channel. But if you really want to help support the channel even more, please check out my Patreon page where you can get all extra kind of accoutrement you don't get here on my YouTube channel. Plus also, once you become a member, you get perks such as gear, you get suggestions of what I review next, and all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check that out. Help support the channel so I can grow it and make it bigger for you guys and better videos for you guys. As always, I'm also an affiliate of SWB Sabers. So if you're interested in getting real looking accurate lightsabers and you're a big Star Wars fan, definitely check out that link down below too, and you get some awesome stuff for a great prices. So definitely check that out. As always, catch you in the next one.